Yes. Beautiful. Yes, it's like close to spring.
I don't mind the cold. I just like more daylight. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Shabbat Shalom. The Sabbath spirit is among us, and so it's time to breathe. If we've forgotten to breathe all week, now is definitely a time to breathe. I'm Cantor Wally Shackett-Briskin. Joining us on the bima and off the bima as well is the members of our Koleinu band, Kevin, Charlie, Bruce, Suzanne, and Ellie, and our president, Jennifer Fessler, who is about to bring you some announcements. But first, don't forget to turn off our cell phones. Don't forget to ignore the distractions that normally get in the way. Don't forget to breathe. And we'll be talking a little bit about inhaling a little bit later because it's mentioned in this week's Torah portion. So, here to welcome us as well, our president, Jennifer.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So I see that the first sign of good weather, we have more people in the sanctuary, so thank you for joining us. Good weather will be in my prayers for tonight so we can see you guys more often. I first want to just do a few thank yous. We collected 33 pints of blood at yesterday's blood drive, so thank you to all who donated. And I also want to do a very special thank you to all of our volunteers who have been helping with our shelter, which we house 7 homeless men every Saturday night here at the temple. And we have volunteers who cook dinner, who bring breakfast, who stay overnight. And if it weren't for volunteers, we wouldn't be able to do this in our community. So I do want to thank them as well. I believe we have 3 nights still available where we're looking for some overnight folks. So if you're interested in staying over and helping out, please check our website. Those dates are on there. I want to thank the Koleinu band for coming tonight. I always love the music and how it all makes the night much more special, so thank you. Don't forget, a Torah study is Wednesday at 11 o'clock and Saturday at 9, and also on Saturday morning minyan, which is at 10. I know many people like the Saturday morning service, but don't necessarily want to sit and watch a B'nai Mitzvah, so we do have both now. So please, at 10 o'clock, Saturday morning minyan, join us. I want to, the Yoshi calendar is so busy, so if you are ages 3 through 12, 3rd grade through 12th grade, we have so many good activities. There were too many to list tonight, so please go to our website, check it out. It's all listed under our youth groups. Sisterhood Mahjong is back. Men's Club is roaring with activities. Our calendar is filling up, and it's so glad to see because we've had a rough 2 years, and getting this community back together is what I love to see, so thank you. I want to thank Stacy Godo for ushering tonight, and I also want to thank Jody Pollinette and Steve Gimmelman for the sponsoring of tonight's ONAG. Shabbat Shalom and enjoy the service.
To help us join in, to help lead us in our candle lighting, I'd like to invite forward our bat mitzvah for tomorrow, Julia, along with her grandmother and her grandfather, to light the candles and to do the kiddush. Ah, okay. So I'll help lead the kiddush in his stead.
Yes. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds you of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Just one candle?
And then touch it to the, right, you pick it up and touch it to the light.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedusha b'mitzvosav v'hadlikneh shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Should I sit down?
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who, finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron lemase v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila lemikrae kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. You can follow along with the words that are going to be on the screen, on the Zoom screen in front of you, or in the books that are underneath your seats. I'll call out the page numbers. Page 126. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Page 263. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah ve'alma tivarach yirutei ve'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael agala ba'agala uv'izman kari ve'meru Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabba Mevarach Le'alam u'la'alamei alamaya Yitbarach Yitbarach ve'yishtabach Ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh Ve'yithadar ve'yit'aleh Ve'yithalal Shemei d'Kudsha Richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran ve'alma v'meru. Amen. On page 264, our call to worship. If you are able, please rise. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai Hamevorach. children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gate, and upon your gate, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God. On page 269, together. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves. Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event. So we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilot oseh felet, Torah tehilot oseh felet, malchut tetzara uvatecha, tokei hayam, bnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ve'eli anu ve'ameru, ve'eli anu amru, Adonai imlom le'olam va'ed, Adonai imlom le'olam va'ed. On page 272, a prayer for God to spread a shelter of peace over us. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, le'torotam be'ritolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, le'torotam be'ritolam. Eini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, le'torotam be'ritolam. Sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, le'torotam be'ritolam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. On page 273, our tefillah, our Amidah, please rise. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated. We read together page 278. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfills its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Achad, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Achad, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום, רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. בטוב תלך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום 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 רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. We pause for a moment of silent prayer. Adonai take time during the service to think of those who are ill, those who are in need of healing. Tonight we think especially of Glenn Cohen, Daniel and Mindy Minerva, Stephen Rice, Jordan Silverman, Richard Cohen, Brian Roche, Colleen Syatt, Norma Menaker, Jan Gale, Ron Klug, Karen Schiffman Goldstein, Arlene Schwartz, Ali Glazer, Harriet Domro, Kate Ratner, Adam Aptaker, Sandy Lustig, Grayson Shukovsky, Barbara Levino, Michelle Safran, Rich Bowden, Spencer Gray Rothstein, Benita Apple, Brody Scher, Tammy Bowling, Carol Levine, Fira Schwartz, Samuel Finkelstein, Arnold Levine, Jenna Schneller, Bonnie Eskowitz, Nechama Leah, Bert Stillman, Richard Craig, Abe and Rhea Drucker, Alice Schumann, G. Garmel, Linda Esposito, Myra Baskin, George White, Cheryl Hershkowitz, David Shore, Auntie Annie, Jared Naratsky, Salvatore Profaci, Jeffrey Cohen, Joel Samet, Jana Vindman, Harriet Marcus, and all those afflicted with COVID-19. There are other names that you'd like to add so that we can communally say names for our Misha Berach list. Misha Berach, Avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed our forefathers and our foremothers send healing and strength to those who are ill, wisdom to their caregivers, skill and comfort to those who are with them. And let us say, Amen. I smelled something the other day that triggered a memory. It brought me right back to a different time, a different place, almost a different lifetime. But it was that scent that made for an experiment, an experience of sentiment and nostalgia. Think of a favorite smell of yours and what it does to your consciousness. And now do the opposite. Think of a favorite memory of being somewhere or doing something, and can you, even for just a moment, remember what it smelled like? Those who study the senses have documented what Jews have known from the time of our ancestors in the wilderness. Scents can often have more of a direct link to our memories and our souls than any of our other senses. This week in the Torah, in Tetzaveh, we read about the priestly obligation to burn a specific type of incense involved in a sacrificial ritual. In Exodus chapter 30, starting with verse 7, it says, "On the altar Aaron shall burn aromatic incense. He shall burn it every morning when he tends the lamps. And Aaron shall burn it at twilight when he lights the lamps, a regular incense offering before Adonai throughout the ages. You shall not offer alien incense on it, or a burnt offering or a meal offering, neither shall you pour a libation on it. And once a year Aaron shall perform purification upon its horns with blood of the sin offering of purification. Purification shall be performed on it once a year throughout the ages. It is most holy to Adonai." Rabbi Shana Chandler Leon says that for thousands of years, religions and cultures around the world have used incense to lift the spirits and appease their deities. The magical aroma and the atmosphere it engendered would implant itself in the adherent's nose and clothing and soul, taking advantage of what they might call the most primal and mysterious of our six senses, as Christopher Berglund once put it in Psychology Today. Incense has been used to cast away illness and evil energies, to drive out pests and plagues, and to create a sort of smoke screen for the presence of God in the holiest recesses of the temple. On a practical note, it may have masked the unpleasant odors of the temple sacrifices and the earthiness of the people who congregated there. The recipe, elaborated upon from Exodus and throughout the Talmud, was complex and exact. Only a master perfumer could do it, could mix it, and deviations from it or inclusions of forbidden ingredients could result in dire consequences. It was an item of enormous religious import. Rav Zutra Bartovia said that Rav said, "From where is it derived that one recites a blessing over scent? As it is stated, Kol haneshama tehalel Yah, let every soul praise the Eternal," in Psalm 150. He explains the verse, "What is it from which the soul derives benefit, and the body does not derive benefit from it? You must say that is scent. Even over items from which only the soul derives benefit, one must recite a blessing and praise God." And in Mishneh Torah, in the tractate Shabbat, it is asked, why is a blessing recited over fragrant spices at the conclusion of the Sabbath? It is to cheer the soul, which is saddened at the departure of the Sabbath. If you recall, there are three symbols that we use at Havdalah, the ceremony marking the conclusion of Shabbat: a cup of wine, a multi-wicked candle, and a box of spices. The reasoning from the Mishneh Torah is that as the extra soul we are given on Shabbat leaves us, we are sad, but the smelling of the spices lifts our spirits. Rabbi Leon continues, "We have only a vestige of the incense in Jewish life today, suggesting very subtly what inhaling that extraordinary blend must have entailed. As Shabbat departs, the Havdalah ceremony offers the gift of breathing in the fragrance of the besamim, the spices. In that moment of suspension between two worlds, and most of us put cinnamon and cloves into the spice box, the blessed aroma of cinnamon and cloves symbolizes what Kabbalists call the neshama yetera, an additional soul that each of us possesses on Shabbat, our day of fullness and completion. We take it in, we hold it for a moment, and let it go for another week. The incense in the ancient temple was also a neshama yetera, lending depth and adding soulfulness to the sacred rituals and the holy space where our ancestors worshipped and gathered. Its scent is but a memory, but may its eternal messages of inclusion, holiness, purity, mercy, and hope continue to burn tamid for all time. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be so. Shabbat Shalom. We turn now to Koleinu in the middle of page 586. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. Vanachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz Hayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, ushemo echad. Please be seated. Page 599. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. If you are remembering someone whose name is mentioned, we invite you to rise as their name is mentioned. We think especially of the 936,200 Americans who have succumbed to COVID-19, over 5,800,000 in the world. We think of those who are in the 7-day mourning period of Shiva, the families of Joseph Epstein, husband of Barbara Epstein, father of Alex Dugan, David Schrank, Mark Schrank, and Stephen Schrank, and those whose families are in the 30-day mourning period of Shloshim, Jerry Geller, Kathleen Lewitt, Hazel Corman, Mort Blumenthal, Lois Heller, Larry Slater, Lucy Schachter Fox. We think of those whose families are marking the anniversary of their death on their yahrzeit this week. Rebecca Bard, Paul Baskin, Jack Bayer, William V. Boehm, Joel Berman, Susan Berman, Harvey Blank, Martin Blashinsky, Oscar Bloom, Sidney Brandler, Mark Cardullo, Fanny Cherry, Max Cohen, Beatrice Crystal, Lena Eisenberg, Ben Epstein, Marilyn Farberman, Philip Fines, Milton Finkelstein, Rosal Fischel, Dana Fissler, Ruth Frankel, Erwin Fraser, Mary Gilhooly, Gail Goldberg, Mark Goldberg, Gerald Goldsmith, Inez Goldstein, Saul Green, Lena Kargman, Albert Katz, Charles Leibovitz, Samuel Lacerin, Jacqueline Manning, Lillian Moskowitz, Deborah Nadrich, Lawrence Owitz, Beatrice Pash, Pinchas Pressler, Dennis Rowland, Goodwin Rosen, Stephen Rosen, Jack Solomon, Gilda Mary Schoenberger, Rose Schaefer, Joel Silverman, Trina Silverstein, Julia Strauss, Gloria Trachtenberg, Jake Turak, Jacob Wallfish, Myrna Wasserman, Hyman Weinberg, Alfred Weiss. Each week, we name individually 6 who died in the Holocaust, giving them names instead of numbers. Pinchas Rosenberg, Clara Grinberg, Shulam Litvak, Oscar Klau, Hannah Tatarko, Toba Koren. Grateful for their memories, we rise as one loving community for the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Yit gadal ve'yit kadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra hirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Hey shemei rabbah mavarach la'alam v'lalamei alamaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach, v'yit pa'ar v'yitromam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shemei dekutsha parichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to those who mourn, and comfort to those who are bereaved, as together we say, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. Please be seated. We thank those who have given offerings, and we congratulate those who have mazel tovs this week. Jennifer, would you help us out?
Thank you. We can't continue to do all the great things we do in the synagogue without very generous donations. A simcha plaque will be placed in our temple lobby in honor of the bat mitzvah of Julia Gimbelman. There were donations made this week in memory of Eugene Paris, Larry Slater, Jerry Geller, Jack Gimbelman. And there were donations made for the yahrzeit of Charles Labovitz, Dal Solish, Larry Owitz, Marilyn Farberman, Jack Solomon, Trina Silverstein, Ben Epstein, Julia Strauss, Minnie Lipschitz, Oscar Bloom, Dennis Rowland, Gerald Goldsmith, Milton Finkelstein, Bernard Parness, Jack Agrin, Ruth Agrin, Pat Porter, Gloria Trachtenberg, Andrea Peters, William Bem, Ann Goldstein, Artie Weiss, Victor Kunda, Helen Goodman Benjamin, Louis Wiener, Beatrice Pash, Leslie Levenstein, Philip Fines, and Lillian Moskowitz. Donations were also made this week in honor of the birth of Isaac Bernstein Hollian and the birth of Logan Henry Michael Bucher. Donations was made for the complete and speedy recovery of Glenn Cohen and in appreciation of Rabbi Baisley for the lifelong learning class. Blessings received, Cantor Wally, Alan Ross, Melissa Pescatori. We also want to say mazel tov to Marty and Marla Bucher on the birth of their new grandson, Logan Henry Michael Bucher, and Olivia and Brian Sieve on the birth of their daughter, Holly Jordan Sieve.
And before Jennifer sits down, with the advantage of our wireless mic, we're going to invite people to share a little bit of perhaps what might be some good news in your life this week. So as she comes around with a Phil Donahue mic, if you have something to share, let us know, and we'll go and because your mazel is our mazel. We're happy when you're happy.
It's the bat mitzvah of my daughter, Julia Gimbelman.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
We're happy to come to our first Rock Shabbat at Sherry Emmett.
Nice.
I spent the day taking care of my 2-month-old granddaughter. And what's nice is she's beginning to smile and look, and she's becoming a mensch.
I just finished a year of cancer treatment.
Yay!
Anybody else?
Well, Mazel Tov, we love sharing good news. It's a great way to celebrate within this community, is to let us know what's going on in your life and let us celebrate with you. Perhaps grandfather would like to come and help us with hamotzi. Come on out.
Baruch,
Ha
Ato
Adonai,
Adonai,
Eloheinu,
Eloheinu, Melech, Haolam,
Hamotzi.
Hamotzi, Lechem, Min Haaretz.
Amen. Thank you. I'm going to take a souvenir piece of challah with you. Thank you. Baruch atah b'voecha u'baruch atah b'tzeitecha. Blessed are you in your coming, and blessed may you be as you go on your way. If you are close to someone who's in your pod and you feel comfortable placing your arms around their shoulder, please do. Or place your hands over your heart as we bless each other. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May you be blessed. May you be safe. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May you be luminous. May you be loved. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you be joyous. May you be healthy. May you be whole. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. And we'll play you out. Ose shalom.